everybody? It's Dominic D'Angelo of adfreeshows.com, SEScoops.com, and OneTrueSportTV.com. But I am here, live, with Robert Karpelis, WE Creative _ish. Robert, how are you today?
I'm good. Sorry, I literally just signed on now, or else I would have pointed out to Dom in advance that he sounds like he's broadcasting in, like, in those movies when they're in a helicopter and they're talking to each other on the headsets and it sounds really weird and odd and muffled and far away. At this point, Dom is dodging Viet Cong bullets, would be my best understanding is what's going on here, as he is broadcasting yet again from a public place. And I'm beginning to wonder, are you homeless? Is that what's
No,
going on here? Is this like that episode of Saved by the Bell when they're in the mall and Zach is dating that girl and then she starts wolfing down on potato chips and his first thought is she's probably a hobo?
I am not homeless yet, but the tax man might say something different coming up.
Jeez, what a dark way to start this episode. The Thursday before Christmas. We're going to say hi to some of the folks joining us here. Alt Jake says, morning gang, glad I could make it live today. Dre Owens, R&I Thursday. Does Tony Khan hate Anna J and the Beast Mortos? Losing streaks galore. Devin Dowling hitting us with an Ayo, but he said he's only going to be here for 10 minutes, about to have our work luncheon. Well, good news, Devin. You and everybody else can catch the audio version of this show on iTunes, Spotify, and the like. It gets uploaded every afternoon. So if you missed part of the episode, you want to go back and listen to it again, you want to hear truly how terrible Dom's audio quality is, you have the chance to do that on iTunes or Spotify. Wrestling Old Head says Dynamite was a good show last night. It had a good balance of different styles of wrestling that they let breathe with video packages. Ospreay Allen stood out because it was the only style match. And Evil Granado just says, I was saying Boo earns. We're always here for a good Simpsons reference. I'm all for it.
How's this
Dom,
audio? Sound a little better? Does it sound good?
it sounds louder, but it's fine. The good news is now we get to hear the folks behind you. So if someone orders a panini, we'll be able to keep you posted.
All right.
Now there's twinkly music. This is the dude. This week you're killing it this week, Dom. You are absolutely killing it. And the folks who are killing it, by the way, are our friends in All Elite Wrestling.
Look, Robert, I really like that show. I thought it was better than Raw this week, to be honest. Don't like the Death Riders story overall, but aside from that, I thought they did a really good job with this holiday bash. What did you think?
I completely agree. I enjoyed the hell out of the majority of this week's episode of Dynamite. Funny enough, this morning, myself and Scott Chaplin recorded Working Stiff. And in that episode, which I'm sure Dom has already posted because he is an intrepid producer, best in the business, we talked about this week's episode of Dynamite, and there was some ebullient enthusiasm for this broadcast, and I plan on echoing that here a little bit as we discuss it on Rumor and Innuendo.
Yes. Well, let's start in order here. A good place to start. We had Mercedes Moné and Anna Jay kicking it off for the TBS title. Nothing really crazy happened in regards to what the result was. Mercedes Moné retained, but I thought this was a great match and really spoke to the ability of Mercedes Moné. Just she's so good in the ring. She's great.
That's the thing about Mercedes. We're hard on her because her promos are not very good. Her storylines don't make a lot of sense, and she sometimes doesn't seem particularly motivated. But when she is plugged in, she is one of the best female wrestlers in the world. And we said in working with someone like Anna Jay, the hope is that Anna, who's been working hard to elevate her own game, was going to step up, and that was what we got. We got a very good legend versus underdog kind of match. It wasn't quite that Undertaker Jeff Hardy ladder match, but this was a match where you kind of felt like, hey, maybe there's a chance Anna Jay is going to win this thing, and that's what you want. The key, Dom, and where Tony Khan is always the best at in the women's division, is follow through.
Yeah, what did you think of the follow through? Obviously, Anna Jay gets the loss, but does it really? I think it did elevate her. It did elevate her being with Mercedes. But
My hope is yes, that she came close, she lost, and now Mercedes is going to duck a rematch because she's going to be afraid that this girl almost beat me, and it took everything I had to win. On the other hand, Anna Jay can vanish from TV for the next 7 months.
That could very well happen. We got a little tease with Chris Statlander, and she's great. But honestly, I was like really getting invested in Anna Jay in this match, and I thought there should be more to that than anything else. I don't know. What did you think? Is Chris Statlander the good pivot here?
It's the lazy pivot. They kind of go back and forth with a lot of these women. They elevate and they vanish, then they elevate, then they vanish. I think there was something there with Anna Jay. I would love to see a follow up with it. I would want Anna to say, "I want a rematch. I want another opportunity," and then Mercedes saying no, and then it's Anna working to try to earn a rematch, which I know Tony loves. He loves someone having to go on a quest.
A little bit of a journey, if you will. It takes a little bit of a quest to decipher the Continental Classic, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. Looking at the round robin point system, I think I got a hold on it.
Dom, there's no way you figured out that chart.
A,
Smarter
a
men
little
than
bit of
you,
math.
smarter men than you have not been able to figure out how that dang chart works. It looks like it takes me. It's a flashback to when I took the LSATs. And there's these things called logic games that exist within the LSATs where it's like you're throwing a dinner party for 15 people, and Steve can't sit next to Bill. Bill can't sit next to John. No one can sit next to somebody wearing a beret. And Karen can't be near anybody that has broccoli. Go. And that's what this chart looks like. And if this was what it took for me to get into law school, I would never have been a lawyer. That's how confusing this chart is. I would be sitting next to you as two homeless guys recording live from what looks like a public park bench with a brick wall behind you, like you're about to do stand up. And
I am not between two ferns.
what's the
It's
deal with the
just
Continental Classic? Now you got a cup of coffee. Where'd that coffee come from off screen? This feels very cozy. This is oddly calming. It's like you're hosting a morning show.
Robert. There's literally a open fire right in front of me too right now. I'm in a cafe
Now
called
hold on.
Trace
Is that
Brewing.
because there's a fireplace or because you've started a fire in a public setting? Do not
I dug
admit to that
myself.
on camera. Don't admit to that on camera. What I will admit is the I don't know what the next segment was. I didn't have it queued up. Damn it. Oh,
I believe it's MJF.
the MJF segment. What did you think of this one, Dom?
Well, here's your hard hitting question, Robert. I texted to you before. This is what I want to ask you. Would you wear a suit like that MJF wore to public venues?
If I had a sharp looking suit like that, absolutely. That was a hell of a Hanukkah suit. I was going to say I don't know where one gets that, but I actually do. This past weekend at Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, the promoter Matthew Mashler was wearing a Hanukkah jacket like that, and it was great because just like Max's has all the Jewish stars and the menorahs and all that, and little Chinese food boxes on there. We're playing all the hits.
I saw the gold coins too, like the chocolate covered gold coins or whatever.
I
Um,
did see that. I do like. There's a suggestion here from Ron Ward. If Dom insists on doing this in public, then make him do the Blue Chew reads. That will teach him. So our friends at Blue Chew are taking off the holiday season, but rest assured they will be coming back strong. See what I did there? That's right. That was a little one free for you guys over at Blue Chew. But no, we're not getting Dom and his sleeveless Batman hoodie thrown out. Quick side note: the Superman trailer came out today, and my big takeaway: Clark Kent jacked up Tony Khan.
he's gonna get that a lot, isn't he? Like moving forward as they build to this, as they build
Oh
to
yeah,
the premiere of the film. Really great trailer though. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm invested. I love Superman.
solid trailer. And what I'm looking forward to more than anything else is working stiff co-host and comic book expert Mike Lawrence. I'm going to poke the bear a little bit because there was this shot of Green Lantern in there, but it's Guy Gardner, not Hal Jordan. And people online are going berserk at how bad this looks. And I'm like, this is pretty comic book accurate. And I'm just going to needle Mike a little bit and then just watch the notifications explode on my phone. Maybe we'll get Mike to do a special for Working Stiff Patreon this weekend, a little behind the scenes talking about the Superman trailer.
He would be a sucker for that. He's all in. He's all about that. He loved the crypto cameo, all that stuff.
What did you think of the MJF promo?
I liked it. Listen, this is like classic MJF, and this is what really, as an AEW, when AEW was growing and getting hot, this is the kind of stuff that he would be doing. And presenting Adam Cole on screen like that, don't know if it was the best overall way to showcase one of your top stars. But this is some good MJF stuff that needling the crowd, playing off the crowd. This is what I like to see present how they present MJF, and I think he did a great job here, though, Robert.
So he had the moment with Big Boom AJ over the weekend that went viral, and then he had this wildly entertaining promo on Dynamite.
Yeah.
I wonder what that could be attributed to. Wonder what rumor and I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, solid. Loved it. As a fan watching it totally cold, not knowing what was going to happen. Big fan of this MJF promo. It felt like vintage MJF. It felt like there was a little bit of the mojo back there. I'm curious what that special sauce was that made this a very good week for Mr. MJF. This was a very good episode for Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. They picked up the win over Shibata and Hook. This is old school WWE booking, Dom. I like it. You're advancing the Christian Hook feud. You let Nick Wayne get the win over Shibata. Totally fine with it.
100% I am too. It's neat to see Nick Wayne in this role and like Christian be this pseudo father to him. I think they furthered that a little bit too as well in this match. But yeah, this is a fun little thing. Shibata, I like him a lot. It just doesn't seem like he seemed like a puzzle piece to come out of nowhere again. I know he's aligned with Hook before, but him being there kind of just felt a little like, okay, well, you're kind of reaching here to get somebody, but I was fine with it overall. I think too at the same time.
I guess you needed somebody to beat. Shibata's there. Fine, let's beat him. Here's something I'm going to say, and I swear, normally, if I would have said this, you would think this is the hostage situation, and I'm trying to signal to my family that I am in jeopardy. But I swear I am not, despite this looking suspect behind me. I liked this Chris Jericho video package.
Yes, Robert, I'm with you, man. This was good stuff, and like it really made AEW feel like a big deal, just being the cinematic look of being in Times Square and Manhattan and all that stuff, and Jericho just going all about and doing the New York stereotypical things. It was a lot of I liked it a lot. I thought it was really well presented. Made even Final Battle feel like a big deal to tune into. So hat tip to Jericho and that team doing it there. I liked it.
It did. I think a high spot for that was the shot of Rockefeller Center with the ice rink and Jericho with the Ring of Honor title over his shoulder, just casually skating. Yeah. That is that's the Chris Jericho we missed for the last 10 years or so. That little goofy moment right there. And I know I'm being too positive about it, and I'm sure at some point we're going to get back to, it's Chris Jericho. But that moment right there, as the light shines behind me, was like a little just moment of wonder. And Dre Owens puts it perfectly right here. Ring of Honor card looks pretty decent for Friday. The Matt Cardona, Chris Jericho should be a very good match. QT Marshall, our Lord and Savior, competing with Jay Lethal. The Righteous, who don't sleep on the Righteous. These dudes have got the goods. They're wrestling Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. That should be a blast. This could be a fun sleeper show, and you're in the Manhattan Center. So there's that nice vibe of a totally different environment. Something that was totally different to me is the fact that Mariah May is feuding with Thunder Rosa.
Was not aware of that. I know she was ringside last week when Toni Storm made her return, and she was holding signs and stuff like that, like Lodi. But I didn't know that they were really building a match and a feud here yet. I knew the Embers were there, but didn't know it was going this quick. I'm for it, but just seems a little quick to do it. Would like to see the bigger build. Thunder Rosa get a little bit more promo time and some ability to kind of build towards this and to make this feel like a viable thing, because Thunder Rosa is arguably you can quote unquote homegrown talent for AEW, whereas Mariah May is a newcomer. You could really make a good story out of this. I would like to see this get a little bit more elevation than what it did, because yeah, Robert, to your point, it came a little unexpected, to be honest.
Part of my challenge with it is it came out of nowhere to a stipulation match, a Tijuana street fight. Usually, if you're going to get to a stip, there's reasons, there's story behind it, there's multiple weeks, and someone I'm sure is going to say, well, on Rampage or Collision, I haven't seen it on Dynamite. They really haven't addressed it. So to go jump straight to that when I feel like they've actually invested more time in the Anna J Mercedes match, which I thought was going to be on World's End, but here we are. Shelton Benjamin took on the Beast Mortos. I would say best Beast Mortos match that I've seen. And Shelton continuing to cook.
You know what? This might have been my favorite Shelton AEW match so far, too, to be honest. Great showcase of him on here and his ability to the strength that he shows. And yeah, I agree with you, too, on the Beast Mortos thing. I just think it's a real shame. You look at the bottom of the Continental Classic, Beast Mortos, Commander, in both brackets, I believe, are at the bottom of the barrel. And it's just like you have these luchadors. You're not making them feel like a big deal. That's what WCW really highlighted, was a big aspect of that, is that cruiserweight division and stuff like that. And Tony Khan is not making these guys feel viable like they should, I think.
I think that he believes anybody can be heated up at any time. And there are certain wrestlers who can absolutely do that. There's certain luchadors that can absolutely do that. Rey Mysterio is at the top of the list. Rey Mysterio is a guy that you can beat in the opening match one week, and then the next week put him in there for the world title, and it feels like it would make sense. These guys are not in that spot, and Beast Mortos is very, very talented. Yes, he has the goofy mask. He looks like when Fred Flintstone was part of the Water Buffalo group. That makes it a little tough to take. That and the googly eyes in the mask. It's he's a very skilled Mantar, but Shelton Benjamin has been the breakout star of the Continental Classic. Every Shelton match that he has had been really, really well done. I thought this was good. The post-match angle with Lashley attacking Beast Mortos led to one of my favorite. Just what the hell? Someone just die behind you? Kind of like
I think somebody dropped like a barrel.
Exactly. Well, someone who dropped my favorite moment of the year was Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia comes out and he's like, I'd come out there, but it's 3-on-1. That'd be pretty stupid for me to go there 3-on-1. And then here comes Mark Briscoe. He's like, oh, 3-on-2. We got this. And they got their asses kicked. Danny
trying
Garcia,
to do the math like the Continental Classic.
I was going to say, if his new gimmick is the mathematician, Danny Garcia, that adds up to money. Ricochet got bullied by the Hurt Syndicate, and it's now going to set up what will be my match of the year if it happens, is Ricochet Swerve, which was the main event of the return of MLW. And we did MLW One Shot, and we were doing a one-off pay-per-view, a one-off show, and the main event was Ricochet Swerve. And I am all for bringing this match back, Dom.
Yeah, that was a great match. If you guys haven't seen that, go to try to seek it out because you can. It's a really, really great match. But this is good stuff. What do you think? I've been hearing mixed things about how Ricochet has been presented. I like this new way of Ricochet, actually, to be honest.
Ricochet is a heel. That's what works so well. The over the top obnoxious mannerisms, the fake sincerity, the idea of, hey, look, I'm here like everybody else. I'm just a guy on the roster. I'm the best guy on the roster, and I'm going to smoke everybody. But look, we're all in this together, brother. We're all good, man. That is the best version of Ricochet. And what I had pitched for a company that we're not going to discuss again, and don't go watch their stuff and give them plugs and help them, but we were supposed to get 3 matches at a Ricochet and Swerve. We wound up on getting 1 because, much like Dom's outfit, the black and yellow brand scooped up Ricochet and sent him to Orlando. But the idea was going to be, it was Ricochet, Swerve, babyface. Then Swerve was going to get the win. Ricochet was going to kind of be like a little over the top and, hey, good job, man, handshake, slap him on the back. continuing to build the idea that Ricochet is a cocky ass. Get to the second match, Ricochet wins heelishly. You get to that third thing where Ricochet full on heel because he absolutely can play that character well.
Yeah, and this is a good indication of it here too. And it'll be fun to see him and Swerve. It's going to be kind of fun to see how he lines up with the Hurt Business, or not the Hurt Syndicate. Uh, I like it. I think this is the great way to portray him and kind of make him feel different from he's talented in the ring, but like we've said before, there's a lot of Ricochets in AEW. So getting him to be in this role, I think, is perfect for him, Robert.
I think it's going to work out well. I do like. There's a comment here. Alt Jake was asking, "Is Dom in that McDonald's in Pennsylvania?" No, Dom is not associating with Pennsylvania healthcare shooters. That does not look like a man who has healthcare. That would be the first reason. Uh, we're kidding. Dom is fit as a fiddle. Someone who is not fit as a fiddle, and it is wildly entertaining to watch, is Tony Storm. Tony Storm has clearly become mentally unhinged, and this was an absolute highlight for me, Dom. I loved it. Sold American. What did you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. I love anytime I see RJ City, but and on top of it too, Tony is just really building up this character even further of being unhinged and like delirious and everything to that effect. And she's doing a great job. Also, it speaks to how Dynamite this week was presented when somebody said in the comments too, Wrestling Old Head mentioned how a lot of good video packages. This is what I really do want to see in AEW, and to kind of further getting people invested. I kept thinking, like, man, imagine if they did this back in the day when you had like everybody there from Kenny to Cody to Punk to, if you had that kind of structure set up, then the value would have been immense for AEW. Here, it's there. I'm glad they're doing it, but it looks great. But this was, I think, the Tony Storm segment here spoke to that.
Incremental growth, and that's what you want to see. Will Ospreay and Darby Allin. I'm going to take a controversial hot take on this, Dom. This was a good match.
Yes,
The
it was.
internet has gone berserk over this match. Working Stiff co-host Scott Chapman was like, bro, this may have been TV match of the year. It's not, but it was a darn fun Continental Classic match.
Yeah, man, Robert, this was great. I like the dynamic between Osprey and Darby, and I really do like that Darby won it. I think Osprey's pretty Teflon still, and like him to get a loss against Darby elevates Osprey to an extent because it adds to his resume of matches. So this was a lot of fun. I thought TV match of the year, that might be tough to say. I'd have to really look back into it, but this was a great match, and in tandem with Shelton and Beast Mortos too. So I really double punch here.
Double punch. Thought it was great. Main event, 6-man tag. Again, old school WWE-ish style booking. The three challengers for Jon Moxley, Jay White, Hangman Adam Page, and Orange Cassidy teamed up to take on Moxley and the Death Riders. What I like about this is Hangman's focus is solely on, I want to beat up the champion. Orange Cassidy, obviously, the guy who's going after the Death Riders, trying to avenge the fact that they tried to, murder him. And Jay White, kind of a little bit of both. A little bit of doesn't like the Death Riders, a little bit just he wants to be champion. Miscommunication by the baby faces, and the Death Riders, the most evil, sinister, heinous, most horrifying stable in the history of professional wrestling, won with a roll-up.
Yeah, Robert, this is, I don't know. I like the strange bedfellows and Cassidy with Jay White and Hangman, but I don't like the dynamic of Death Riders at all. And they're very subpar. They feel like Riot Squad level of scary.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
that is rough. What's not rough, guys, is as we go into the holiday season, and if you need some sort of diversion away from being around the family, you can catch a lot of high quality audio brought to you by the two men who are sitting in the boxes on the screen here. Myself and Scott Chapman just recorded Working Stiff. We had a hell of a good time talking AEW, WWE, Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, little TNA mixed in there. The company TNA, not don't relax, Dom. I saw that look on your face. That should be up right now or relatively soon, depending on where you get your audio podcast. But if that's not enough, if that's not the only Dominic D'Angelo produced podcast that you want to listen to, Dom, what else you got for the fine people?
Yes, on tap tonight, I'm going live with Fonzie, Bill Alfonso. Me and him return. We'll be talking about Dusty Rhodes, maybe an ECW is what I want to touch upon a little bit, but we really take live questions and stuff there, so check that out. And also dropping later today, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on FullHorsemanNetwork.com. Magnum TA, Greg Gagne. We talk. Magnum gives his thoughts on Tessa Blanchard's return to TNA and what he thinks overall of that. So be sure to check that out. That should be a newsworthy episode. And also later this week, Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, go live on RVD TV. Me, RVD, Violent J of ICP. We'll be covering a lot of ground on there. Rob's been a fan of JCW and what they've been doing there with their weekly show. So big show planned there for night. Way to kick off the holidays in that way. Whoop, whoop, Robert. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, you're not getting me on board for the Juggalo stuff. That was a good try on your part. It ain't gonna happen. You're look. Get Greg Gagne in some insane clown posse paint, and maybe I'll get on board for this. What I will get on board for is the fact that we're going to be here every Monday through Friday. Next week, I know it's Christmas. We'll see what winds up actually happening. We may be with family or loved ones or whatever for the Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa season. I know I will definitely not be here next Friday because it is my birthday. And my birthday present to myself is not doing this show. Kidding.
You don't want to share it with me?
As much as I would love to share it with you, no, my wife and my kids are taking me out for lunch. So that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. So unfortunately, we'll miss that episode. But we will be back on Monday to discuss the not at all taped Raw. Don't read the spoilers. Anything that goes on over this weekend. And a big week of wrestling coming up. We'll probably touch on some of the stuff that happened at Ring of Honor. Obviously, the Manhattan Center tapings that AEW is going to be doing. But until then, on behalf of the man of the people, because he's out in public broadcasting this episode, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpelis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
I'm a man on the street like Jiminy Glick.